All right, so we're going to be covering the risk for some severe weather and some flooding this evening into tomorrow with this briefing. So, just a brief overview of what has changed in the last 24 hours or so. So, the timing of showers and storms has trended later. So, we're now looking at late evening and overnight. And they also added, they being the WPC, added a slight risk of excessive rainfall for the coastal portions of our area on Saturday. So, let's dive in. All right, so first I kind of want to give you an overview of where we stand right now. So this was as of about an hour ago. This was some observations. This blue line is representing a front that pushed through the area yesterday, and it pushed a little bit further south than we were originally anticipating. So it's hung up over about central North Carolina. And this front's going to be our weather maker later tonight into tomorrow as it kind of lifts north, back north through the area. Also on the radar right now, we've got nothing in our area locally, but just kind of a situational awareness thing. There is already some ongoing rain occurring in southwestern Virginia. All right, so go ahead and we'll talk about the severe storm potential. So with the timing of storms being a little later than maybe what was expected a day or two ago, that kind of it limits the severe potential a little bit. As we lose daylight, we'll be losing instability. So it kind of dampens those risks. That being said, the earlier stuff that gets started later this evening could still have enough instability to do something severe wise. So there is still a marginal risk across southern portions of our area, roughly south of US 460. And that would be the main risks for that would be a few strong wind gusts, maybe some isolated large hail. But yeah, so that would be with the evening stuff. As we get later into the night, that chance will decrease. So looking at those southern portions of our area for that severe risk. So maybe one or two stronger storms. Really what we're looking at is more of a flooding threat. So this is the excessive rainfall outlook, just kind of highlighting the risk for flash flooding. So you can see most of our area is in that slight risk. And then as we progress into tomorrow, that risk kind of shifts north and east into our coastal areas in the eastern shore. All right, so I want to give kind of an overview of timing and location of storms and stuff. So this is the RRFS, which is one of the newer high-res models. So, don't get too caught up on specifics of this storm is going over this town at this time. We're more just looking at the overall trend of when stuff gets started and how it spreads through the area as the event progresses. So this is starting out today at noon here. You can see maybe a few light things along our southwestern border, but really it's when we get into later in the afternoon, this is around 4, again, maybe a few isolated showers. But it's really not until we get to that 5, 6, even 7 o'clock that when that front starts to kind of drift north that we start to get more widespread showers. So as we go into the evening, you can see those showers and thunderstorms kind of spread north and lasting through the night, stepping through. So this is 2 a.m. We've got potentially some widespread showers. Uh, and then you can see the heavier rain pivoting into the area later tonight, early tomorrow morning. This is 6 a.m. Saturday. Again, don't get too caught up on specific times, just kind of the overall trend here. And again, this is when we would mostly be worried about the heavy rain rather than severe potential. So, continuing into tomorrow, this is tomorrow, 8 o'clock. And notice how where this heavier rain is showing up in this particular model lines up pretty well with where that slight risk for excessive rainfall was. So that'll continue through the morning. And then maybe a few afternoon storms tomorrow as well. And then drying out tomorrow evening. All right. And this is just another way of kind of showing that timing trend. So you can see in the afternoon, we start, there's a little bit of, 20, 25, maybe up to like 40% chance. But it's really later tonight when those precip chances ramp up. And that'll continue overnight into tomorrow. And so timing wise, for severe weather, that threat would be across our south, and it would be in this like 3 to maybe 8 or 9 o'clock p.m. period. And then once we get into these higher precip chances, that's when it really transitions into more of a flash flood threat. Alrighty, so that's all I have for you. Once we get past Saturday, Sunday looks a lot nicer, and then staying on the drier side of things into early next week. So that's where I'll leave you, and I can take some questions.